Let's start with the hard truth. If you're a man still wasting time in 2025, the world has already left you behind. While you're scrolling, gaming, binge-watching, overthinking, or just chilling, another man is building his empire. That man isn't smarter than you, and he's not luckier. He just respects time more than you do. And in today's world, time is the real currency. Not money, not followers, not connections, just time and how you spend it. Here's something nobody wants to tell you. Most men are not lazy. They're just addicted to comfort. You're not tired, you're undisciplined, you're not confused, you're distracted. The truth is, we've created a culture where wasting time is normal and even rewarded. Memes, TikToks, endless podcasts that don't teach you anything, and social media highlight reels have you believing that being busy means you're doing something with your life. But here's the brutal truth. If you are not in control of your time, someone else is. And that someone doesn't care about your future. Let's go deeper. Why are so many men stuck in the same loop? Wake up late, scroll, procrastinate, feel guilty, watch a few motivational clips, make plans, do nothing, repeat. This isn't laziness, this is spiritual decay. This is what happens when a man forgets his mission, when he trades discipline for dopamine, when he replaces growth with entertainment. Men weren't built to be passive consumers of distraction. We were designed to build, protect, create, and conquer. But if your day is full of distractions, you're no longer living like a man, you're surviving like a slave. And here's what's worse, you probably already know this. You know you're wasting time, you know you're capable of more, but you've become so comfortable with the feeling of almost starting that you've tricked your mind into thinking you're doing something. You're not. You're floating, existing, waiting for the perfect time that will never come. Let me be blunt. Every second you waste is a betrayal of your future self. The version of you that could have been in shape, wealthy, respected, sharp, focused, fearless. He dies a little more every time you choose comfort over discipline. But here's the good news, because this isn't just a rant. You can reclaim control. You can stop the cycle. You can become the kind of man that walks into a room and owns it. Not with loud words or fake confidence, but with purpose. But it starts by respecting time like it's your last breath, because one day it will be. The solution isn't in some expensive course, a 5 a.m. morning routine, or deleting your phone. It's in ownership. You have to own the hours you've been wasting, own the excuses you've been making, own the results you don't have. This video isn't for the weak-hearted. It's for the man who's tired of living below his potential, the man who's ready to stop wasting time and take back the throne of his life. If that's you, then keep watching, because in the next few sections, I'll walk you through exactly how to stop bleeding time and start living like the man you were born to be. 1. Comfort is killing you. Let's not sugarcoat it. Your comfort is your prison. Most men today aren't failing because of lack of intelligence, opportunity, or even motivation. They're failing because they're addicted to comfort, and comfort is the slowest form of death. It doesn't kill you in a day, it just makes sure you never become the man you're supposed to be. Look around. Modern life is designed to make you soft. You've got food delivered to your door, entertainment in your pocket, dating apps replacing real human connection, and a constant stream of content telling you that it's okay to take it easy. But ask yourself this: when was the last time something meaningful came from being comfortable? Growth? No. Power? No. Respect? Definitely not. Here's the truth nobody tells you. If it's easy, it's probably useless. Comfort isn't just laziness, it's choosing safety over strength. It's sleeping in when you said you'd wake up early. It's skipping the gym because you had a long day. It's watching another YouTube video on success habits instead of actually working. And it feels harmless because you tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, but you won't. You'll do it again and again until that comfort becomes your identity. A comfortable man is a dangerous man because he thinks he's okay, but he's rotting from the inside. Let's make this real. There's a guy, 28 years old, smart, talented. He wants to start a business. He talks about it all the time. He even has a name for it, but he never starts. Why? Because his 9 to 5 pays just enough. Because Netflix is easier than learning a new skill. Because his weekends are for relaxing and catching up on rest. 3 years pass. He's in the same place, same job, same habits, same excuses. His dream didn't die, it just got smothered under layers of comfort. That man, he's everywhere. He might be you. And the worst part, he doesn't even realize he's wasting his life because comfort feels good. That's the trap. You feel fine. But fine is the enemy of great. And comfort will convince you that mediocrity is acceptable, as long as you don't feel pain. Now here's what comfort never teaches you. How to handle pressure, how to lead, how to fight for something when it gets hard, how to earn respect, not demand it, how to delay pleasure for long-term power. Discomfort is where men are forged. That's why real growth comes from doing what you don't feel like doing. Consistently, waking up early when your body says no, hitting the gym when your emotions say skip, studying when your mind says scroll. Discipline doesn't feel good, but it makes you dangerous in the best way. The truth is, you will never dominate your life if you're ruled by comfort. Because comfort makes you predictable, passive and soft, and the world doesn't reward that anymore. The world rewards those who move through discomfort with purpose. A man who can sit with discomfort and still execute, that man is unstoppable. Here's the switch you need to make. Stop asking what's easy. Start asking, what makes me stronger? Stop saying, I'll do it later. Start saying, let's get it done now. Stop chasing comfort, start chasing challenge. Let's take it to the ground level. You want to get your life back? Start small, not with some huge 12-step plan. Start with your alarm clock. Set it for 6 a.m. No snooze, no second chances. When it rings, you get up. The first battle of your day is against comfort, and most men are losing it before sunrise. Win that battle, and you've already started taking control. You don't need more motivation, you need more friction, more resistance, more pressure, because that's how men grow. Put yourself in situations where you can't be soft, where you have to rise, where there's no exit door back to comfort. That's where your edge is. Here's the final thought. Every man has 2 voices in his head. One says, relax, you've done enough. The other says, keep going, you're not there yet. The one you feed will shape your entire life. Comfort feeds the first voice. Discipline feeds the second. The question is, which one are you listening to? 2. Your phone owns you. Here's a brutal truth no one wants to admit. You don't own your phone. Your phone owns you. It decides when you wake up. It decides how long you stay in bed. It decides what mood you're in before your feet even touch the floor. That little screen is more than a device. It's your master, and you obey it every day without even realizing it. Think about this. The first thing most men do when they wake up is check their phone. Not stretch, not pray, not plan their day. They check their notifications, emails, Instagram, TikTok, messages. Before you've even had a conscious thought, your brain is already reacting to the world and not creating anything of value. That's not freedom, that's digital slavery. Your phone has turned you from a man into a product. Big tech doesn't care about your goals. They care about your attention. Every scroll, every tap, every second, they're collecting data, pushing content, keeping you hooked. And the more addicted you are, the more money they make. You think you're entertained, but you're being programmed. You're not choosing what to watch. Algorithms are choosing what you see based on your weakness. You're not just checking notifications. You're being baited into a time trap. You're not relaxing. You're numbing your ambition. Let's be real. Most men today can't go 30 minutes without checking their phone. Try it. Go on. Put your phone in another room and try to just sit and think for 30 minutes. You'll start to twitch. You'll get anxious. That's not normal. That's not healthy. That's addiction. Plain and simple. And here's the worst part. You think your phone is helping you. You convince yourself it's for work, or learning, or motivation. But you know damn well 90% of the time you spend on that screen is garbage. Random videos, pointless arguments, fake lives that make you feel like you're behind. It's a mental trap that steals your focus, your drive, and your edge. Every time you pick it up without a purpose, you're weakening your mind. Now let's talk about what this is doing to your power as a man. Your focus gone, your confidence shattered by comparisons, your time wasted on scrolling and swiping. And worse, your vision for your life becomes blurry. You start chasing trends, not purpose. You start reacting instead of building. You stop thinking for yourself. The man who can't focus is a man who can't lead. And leadership starts with leading yourself. How can you lead your life, your business, your family, if you can't even control your thumbs? Now let's get practical. There's a guy. He wants to level up. He says he's serious. He follows all the right influencers, watches motivational videos, subscribes to podcasts, but every 10 minutes he's back on his phone, scrolling reels, checking likes, watching stories of other people actually doing the work. By the end of the day, he feels busy, but did nothing. He's drained. Not because he worked hard, but because his attention got scattered into 1,000 useless pieces. That guy, he's stuck in digital quicksand. The more he moves, the deeper he sinks. Here's what you need to do. Set boundaries with your phone like it's a toxic ex. Keep it away in the morning. Don't touch it until you've handled your priorities. Work out, journal, plan your mission. Turn off all non-essential notifications. You don't need to be alerted every time someone likes your post or replies LOL in a group chat. Kill the noise. Delete apps you don't need. If an app isn't making you smarter, stronger, or richer, what's it doing on your phone? Replace screen time with deep work. Read, write, build, think, focus. These are your weapons, not reels and memes. Because here's the mindset shift. Your phone is a tool, not a toy. Use it to create, connect with intention, learn with purpose, not to escape life, not to avoid boredom, not to kill time, because time is killing you when you waste it. Your phone is either your weapon or your weakness. It can make you money, build your brand, expand your knowledge, or it can drain your energy, steal your time, and rob your purpose. The choice is yours, but here's the truth. The man who can control his phone is the man who controls his life. 3. Discipline is greater than motivation. Let's kill a myth right now. Motivation is overrated. You've been lied to by this whole get hyped culture. All the music, the flashy edits, the viral speeches, they make you feel like motivation is everything. But here's the cold truth. Motivation is weak. It's emotional, it's temporary, and it disappears the moment things get hard. How many times have you felt fired up, ready to change your life, then did absolutely nothing? How many mornings have you woken up thinking, today's the day, and by 2 p.m. you're back to your old habits? That's motivation. It gets you excited, but it doesn't get you results. Real men don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. Discipline is what separates boys from men, because discipline shows up when motivation doesn't. Motivation is that voice in your head that says, let's go. Discipline is the voice that says, shut up and do it. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't need hype. It doesn't need a perfect morning. It just executes. And if you want to take control of your life, you need to stop waiting to feel like it. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Stop waiting for the mood to strike. Because if your actions are based on how you feel, you'll never be consistent. And without consistency, nothing in your life will ever change. Here's the truth. Your feelings are soft. They lie, they shift, they crumble under pressure. One day you feel like crushing it. The next day you feel tired, bored, uninspired. And if you obey that cycle, you'll keep starting over and over. Stuck in a loop, motivated, lazy, guilty, repeat. That's not power, that's chaos. Discipline is different. Discipline is brutal. Discipline is cold. Discipline doesn't care if it's raining, if you're sore, if you're stressed, if your girlfriend broke up with you. Discipline shows up anyway. every time, every day, without a speech, without a spark, without applause. That's where the shift happens. When you stop chasing feelings and start chasing results. When you realize that motivation feels good, but discipline builds men. You don't need another pump-up playlist. You don't need a motivational quote. You don't need to watch another video to get in the zone. You just need to commit to doing what must be done no matter what. Because here's the reality. Discipline gets you in shape. Discipline builds your business. Discipline earns you respect. Discipline gets you ahead while everyone else is sleeping, scrolling, or quitting. And guess what? It's boring, it's repetitive, it's not glamorous. You'll wake up some days and hate it. You'll want to skip it. You'll want to rest or take a break or listen to your body. That's when you double down, because that's the test. That's when men are made, not when it's easy, not when you're excited, when you push through without the feeling. That's when you separate yourself. That's when you build self-respect. Because deep down, every man knows this. Discipline is how you prove to yourself that you're serious. Anyone can work when they feel good. That's nothing. But the man who works when it sucks, who executes with no applause, no fire, no motivation, that man becomes dangerous. He becomes consistent. He becomes focused. He becomes unstoppable. You know why that matters? Because life doesn't care about your mood. Opportunities won't wait for your energy to feel right. No one's coming to save you. No one's handing out medals for trying. You either get it done or you get left behind. Discipline is how you stay in the game when everyone else burns out. It's how you make progress in silence. It's how you win quietly daily while others chase the next motivation high. So stop asking, how can I stay motivated? Wrong question. Ask, how can I stay disciplined when I don't feel like it? Build your systems, lock in your routines, commit to your schedule, and then execute no matter how you feel. Because that's what real men do. Not just when it's convenient, not just when they're inspired, always. 4. Nobody cares about your potential. Let's be clear, your potential means nothing. No one's impressed by what you could be. No one respects what you plan to do. The world doesn't clap for almost. It rewards action, results, and proof. Every man thinks he's special. You've got ideas, talent, a vision. You say things like, I know I could be successful if I just started. I'm just waiting for the right time. I've got so much potential, it's crazy. But here's the hard truth. You're not owed anything for that. You're not respected for potential, you're tolerated. You're not feared for potential, you're forgotten. You're not rewarded for potential, you're replaced. Men today love to romanticize what they could be while putting off what they should be doing. You fantasize about a version of yourself that only exists in your head. You tell yourself you're built different while acting like everyone else. That's the problem. You believe your own hype without backing it up. Let's be honest. You haven't earned anything yet. You haven't put in the hours. You haven't suffered for your goals. You haven't sacrificed like the greats do. You just talk, you plan, you dream. And then what? You waste time. You scroll. You escape. You lie to yourself that you're working on it. But you're not. You're hoping someone else will see your potential and hand you something. Wake up. You don't get points for being capable. You get points for execution. Men are judged by what they do, not what they say they'll do. Nobody is keeping track of your ideas. They're looking at your results. That woman you like, she's watching what you build, not what you dream about. That opportunity you want, it goes to the man who moves, not the man who waits. Life is a scoreboard. Potential doesn't score goals. Actions do. You can be the smartest guy in the room, but if you don't execute, you're just noise. You can talk about the empire you'll build, but if you're still broke and lazy, no one's listening. You can have all the talent in the world, but without discipline, you're just another guy with a fantasy and a phone addiction. Here's the truth most men need to hear. Your potential is starting to expire. You're not 18 anymore. You don't get infinite tries. Time is moving. And while you're still convincing yourself that one day you'll get serious, another man, less talented, less smart, less capable, is outworking you and winning. Because he's not relying on potential, he's stacking results. This is the part where you need to take it personal, because no one else is going to fix it for you. No one's going to chase you and remind you you're special. No one's going to pull you out of bed, slap the phone out of your hand, and tell you to be a man. That's your job. You don't need more people telling you how amazing you could be. You need someone telling you you're not doing enough right now. You need to feel the pressure. You need to feel the urgency. You need to stop acting like you've got forever. Potential is not power. It's just unused ability. It's rusting. And if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Your confidence, it won't come from hype. It comes from proof, from doing hard things, from following through, from building something real that you can point to and say, I did that. So here's the wake-up call. Nobody cares about your goals. Nobody cares about your dreams. Nobody cares how hard it is. They care about what you produce, what you deliver, what you become. And you can either get bitter about that or get to work. Because while you're still talking about potential, someone else is already winning. And they're not more talented. They're just more focused, more ruthless, more consistent. They understood early that the world isn't fair, that nobody's coming to validate your dreams, that your potential is a starting point, not a finish line. You want to be respected? Start showing results. You want to be taken seriously? Start executing. You want to stop being overlooked? Start becoming undeniable. You don't need more motivation, you need more movement. Because one day, your time will run out. And the scariest thought isn't failure, it's looking back and realizing you could have been great, but you never moved. You just talked. You just planned. You just wasted potential. So here's the real question. Are you going to die full of potential, or are you going to wake up, lock in, and turn it into power? 5. Friends can be your biggest distraction. Let's break a lie that's been holding men back for years. Not all friends are good for you. In fact, some of them are the biggest reason you're stuck. Not your past, not your job, not your family, your friends. That circle you hang out with, that group chat you check every day, that crew you spend hours with doing absolutely nothing productive. Yeah, they're slowing you down. You think they're your boys, you think they have your back, you think it's all harmless. But take a hard look. What do you actually do when you're with them? You talk, you laugh, you joke about life, you complain, you waste time, you tell each other, we'll figure it out. But no one's building, no one's grinding, no one's growing. Let's be real. How many times have your friends distracted you from your goals? How often do they invite you out when you should be working? How many dumb conversations have you had about girls, games, gossip, while your dreams rot in the back of your mind? How many plans have you abandoned just to keep the peace, just to fit in, just to not seem like you're doing too much? You're playing it safe. You're staying small, all in the name of friendship. But ask yourself this, do they challenge you? Do they push you to become a better man? Do they hold you accountable? Or are they just comfortable and you're just tagging along? If your circle isn't helping you grow, it's keeping you stuck. And here's the dangerous part. It happens slowly. You don't even notice it at first. One missed workout, one late night, one small compromise, then another, and another. Before you know it, you've lost your edge. You're living on autopilot. You're blending in with average men, doing average things, having average goals. Because the moment you start trying to elevate, they call you different. The moment you say no to distractions, they say, you've changed. The moment you start winning, they get quiet, or worse, jealous, and you still call them friends. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Some men don't want to see you rise, because it reminds them that they're standing still. Your growth exposes their laziness. Your discipline makes them feel soft. Your ambition makes them feel small. So instead of supporting you, they downplay you. They laugh at your goals. They tell you to chill. They remind you to have balance. They guilt trip you for working too hard, reading too much, dreaming too big. These aren't friends. They're anchors. They hold you back. They drain your focus. They rob you of momentum. And the scariest part, you let them. You've been too loyal to the wrong people. You've been afraid to outgrow your circle. You've stayed stuck because you didn't want to walk alone. But hear this, growth is lonely. Leveling up is uncomfortable. Success will often cost you the people who don't want to come with you. And that's okay, because true friends, real ones, they'll understand when you say, "I've got work to do." They'll support your mission, not distract you from it. They'll talk business, not gossip. They'll celebrate your wins, not compete with them. They'll push you, sharpen you, build with you. If that's not what your circle looks like, you don't have a circle. You have a cage. You need to stop being the smartest one in the room. Stop being the only one grinding. Stop hanging around men who only talk and never act. Audit your circle. Ask the hard questions. Who is helping me grow? Who is just wasting my time? Who supports me even when I go silent to focus? Who only shows up when it's convenient? Cut the noise. Create distance. And if it costs you friendships, so be it. Better to lose fake friends than lose years of progress. Because you're not here to stay comfortable. You're here to build something legendary. And legends aren't built by men who surround themselves with distractions disguised as bros. This is your life, your vision, your future. Don't water it down to stay relatable. Don't shrink it to keep friends around. If your circle doesn't elevate you, it eliminates you. Let that sink in. Now be bold enough to change it. 6. Busy doesn't mean productive. Let's get this straight. You being busy doesn't mean you're doing anything important. We live in a world that glorifies movement. Everyone wants to be seen grinding. Everyone loves to say, "I've been so busy lately." But here's the harsh truth. Busy men stay broke. Productive men build empires. Let that sink in. You can fill your entire day with tasks and still be going nowhere. You can have a packed calendar and still not move an inch toward your goals. You can wake up early, stay up late, run around all day, and still be stuck in the same place next year. Because motion doesn't equal progress. Running on a treadmill doesn't take you anywhere, no matter how fast you go. The real question isn't, how much did I do today? It's, did I move closer to the man I want to become? A lot of men hide behind busyness. You think just because you're stressed, overwhelmed, or tired, it means you're being productive. But that's not it. You're mistaking being active for being effective. You check emails. You go to pointless meetings. You multitask all day. You work on 10 things at once and finish none of them. You stay busy just to avoid doing the one thing that actually matters. And then you look around and wonder, why isn't my life changing? Why am I stuck? Why does it feel like I'm always doing things but never getting ahead? Simple. You're not focused. You're just busy. Productive men prioritize. They figure out the few things that move the needle and attack those first. They don't confuse urgency with importance. They don't spend 8 hours doing things that look impressive but accomplish nothing. Because here's the secret. You don't get rewarded for effort. You get rewarded for results. Let's be real. How many times have you said, "I worked all day but didn't really get anything done"? Complained about having no time but still scrolled for hours. Made to-do lists with 15 items just to avoid the one thing that actually matters. It's all smoke, all noise, all distraction. Men fall into this trap because busyness feels like progress. It feels productive. It feels masculine. You feel on the move. But feeling like you're grinding is not the same as winning. Real productivity is boring. It's doing the same high-value tasks daily. It's saying no to 99 things and locking in on the one that matters. It's not about how much you do, it's about what you do consistently. So ask yourself, are you solving real problems? Are you building something valuable? Are your actions aligned with your goals? If not, you're not productive. You're distracted. And distractions come in many forms, even disguised as work. Look at your environment. Look at your schedule. Look at your circle. Do they push you toward clarity, or do they keep you stuck in activity? Are you designing your day or reacting to chaos? Are you checking boxes or changing your life? It's time to strip it all down. Stop glorifying busyness. Stop chasing the feeling of effort. Start chasing impact. Set clear goals. Track what actually moves the needle. Build systems that keep you focused. And cut out everything else. Because the man who works with clarity will always beat the man who works with confusion. The man who does one thing with excellence will always beat the man juggling 5. So here's the challenge. Audit your actions. Not your intentions, not your effort, not your energy. Just your output. Are you actually getting results or just staying busy? Because in the end, no one cares how full your schedule was. They care about what you built. They care about what you became. They care about your results. Busy is comfortable. Productivity is painful. Busy keeps you safe. Productivity forces growth. So stop being the busy man who looks like he's going somewhere. Be the focused man who's already there. 7. You're not tired, you're weak. Let's not lie today. You're not tired. You're just soft. You don't need more sleep. You don't need another break. You don't need another excuse to sit down and rest. What you need is to face the truth. You've built a weak mind. Modern life has coddled you. Your comfort is your cage. You mistake mental laziness for exhaustion. You mistake boredom for burnout. You think you're tired, but you've barely done anything worth being tired over. Let's be honest, what exactly did you do today? Scrolled. Checked notifications? Worked for 2 hours with 15 breaks in between. Took a nap because you were drained. Drained from what? Sitting? Thinking? Existing. Real men, strong men, don't rely on how they feel. They push through it. They show up anyway because they understand that tired is just a feeling, and feelings lie. You're not tired. You're just not used to doing hard things. You've trained your body to avoid pressure. You've trained your mind to give up at the first sign of resistance. And now you walk around calling it fatigue. It's not fatigue. It's a lack of mental toughness. You've never had to suffer. You've never had to endure. You've never had to push past your own limits. Because every time life got a little hard, you paused. You slept. You reset. You told yourself you deserved it. But here's the harsh truth. You've done nothing to earn that rest. You haven't even earned the right to say, I'm tired. Because tired means you pushed yourself to your edge. Tired means you gave it your all. Tired means you fought through resistance and still showed up. But you quit at 40%, maybe 30%. You tap out when it gets uncomfortable. You take pride in doing the bare minimum. You hide under self-care and mental health trends. But really, you just want to avoid discipline. You want easy results with no struggle. You want success without suffering. You want strength without sacrifice. But greatness doesn't come to men who sleep in every time they feel off. It comes to the man who drags himself out of bed when he doesn't feel like it. To the man who trains when he's sore, who works when he's overwhelmed, who keeps going when every part of him wants to stop. That's not exhaustion. That's grit. You see, the real war is mental. Your brain lies to you every day, tells you to stay comfortable, tells you it's okay to relax, tells you it's fine to slow down. And most of you believe it. That's why you're not dangerous. That's why you're not consistent. That's why you're not winning. Because every time you're close to growth, your mind pulls you back into weakness. And you follow. But here's what strong men do. They stop trusting the voice in their head. They stop treating feelings like facts. They stop giving energy to weakness. They move forward even when it sucks, even when they're scared, even when they feel like quitting. Because they know growth doesn't come when you're comfortable. It comes when you're stretched. It comes when you're stressed. It comes when you're absolutely dead inside and you keep going anyway. And that's the part you've been skipping. That's why you're behind. That's why every year feels the same. Because you stop every time it gets hard. Let me tell you something real. The man you want to become is hiding behind your pain threshold. He's buried under all the things you avoid. Early mornings, late nights, boring routines, physical discomfort, mental discipline. He's not found in motivation. He's not found in comfort. He's found in the hard things you keep running from. So no, you're not tired. You're just undisciplined. You've been babied by a soft society that celebrates weakness. You've been lied to by people who call mediocrity self-love. And now it's time to wake up. Stop calling it burnout when it's really avoidance. Stop calling it exhaustion when it's really laziness. Stop telling yourself you need rest when you need a mission. When you have a mission, you don't feel tired, you feel alive. You move with purpose. You sacrifice sleep. You sacrifice comfort because you're building something that matters. So stop listening to your soft brain. Train it. Tame it. Make it serve you. Because when you're truly tired, after a day of real effort, real pressure, real progress, there's no guilt. There's pride. There's strength. There's clarity. That's the kind of tired you should chase. Earned exhaustion, not empty fatigue. So next time you feel tired, ask yourself honestly, did I earn this feeling? Or am I just running from the work? That answer will tell you everything you need to know about the kind of man you are and what kind of man you still need to become. Let's end this with something most people won't dare say. If your life still looks the same year after year, it's because you secretly like being average. You won't hear that in school. You won't hear that from your friends. And you definitely won't hear it from the people trying to sell you comfort. But I'll say it, because I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm here to speak to men who are tired of lying to themselves. You say you want to win, but you're addicted to wasting time. You say you want control, but you let distractions run your day. You say you want freedom, but you're a prisoner to your own habits. The truth is, most men want the results, but not the responsibility. They want the rewards, but not the work. They want the lifestyle, but not the lifestyle that builds the lifestyle. But you're still watching this for a reason. And that reason isn't hype, it's hunger. Something inside you is done with excuses, done with the cycle, done pretending you've got forever. So I'll tell you this. If even one part of this video hit home, it means there's something inside you trying to wake up. And you owe it to yourself and to the man you're meant to be to listen. Don't let this be another video you watch and forget. Don't scroll into the next piece of content and bury this message under noise. Instead, I want you to do two things. One, drop a comment. Tell me where you're at in life. What's the one thing you know you've been slacking on? Be honest, I'll read every single one. You're not just a viewer. You're part of the Guru clan now. And if you're serious, I'll reach out. No fluff, no pitch, just real connection and real accountability. The two, rewatch this video in 1 week. Not for entertainment, but to see if you've changed anything. If not, start again, until the habits stick, until the results show, until you stop wasting time and finally take control of your life. This isn't about perfection, it's about movement. One hard truth at a time, one decision at a time. Because the life you want, the man you want to become, he's not out there, he's not some future version. He's just on the other side of your discipline. So stop chasing potential, start chasing power. And I'll see you at the top, or I'll see you repeating the same excuses next year. Your move. And if you're not following Motivation Guru yet, join the Guru clan, rebel against mediocrity, and step into greatness. Stay locked in.